So often I am asked, how do I convince someone to have a party? Do you know what the answer is? You don't. And more importantly, you shouldn't. Let's think about what we do. We provide a service, a super fun service. The opportunity to get together with friends and family, to learn style tips, to experience personalized shopping in a social atmosphere, and to receive jewelry pieces of their choice, always on sale. That's not something we want to convince someone to do. That's something we want to inspire them to do, to excite them to do, to create excitement for them to do. So I don't want to overcome objections. I want to eliminate so many objections that they'll simply say yes to hosting a show. So let's take a look at some ways to create desire, excite and inspire others, everyone, to have shows with us. Excitement is usually created by fun. So did you know that fun is actually the #1 reason that people will book with you? I like to create fun at my shows by making a high level of involvement. As soon as guests arrive, I immediately put a piece of jewelry on them to model, compliment them, and in turn, they start complimenting each other. This lets them know that our whole day or evening is going to be about trying on and having a wonderful time together modeling the jewelry. I get them feeling great about themselves and the jewelry, and it just creates a feel-good atmosphere. Throughout the show, be one of them. Joke around, chat about whatever it is they want to chat about. Listen so that you can learn what their needs are, so that you can make the show about them, because the most successful shows are the shows where you meet their needs. We can't learn their needs without listening. Some people have fun entertaining in their home, but that type of venue isn't for everyone. That's why we need to share various ways and times that they can have their get-togethers. Remember, we book the kinds of shows that we remember to talk about. So that can be during your booking commercials, or even in just a simple statement like, see how this Rhea necklace looks so amazing on Susie? I call this the ultimate poncho necklace. There's so much fabric in the front of a poncho that's so plain that this necklace really creates some visual interest in the front. And it's also such a versatile piece. I did a daytime drop-and-shop show with a group of moms on Tuesday, and I put this same necklace on a mom who came in with a white plain t-shirt and jeans, and it looked amazing, especially as we removed the various layers. So it's such a great, versatile piece. So not only in doing that did I share a fashion tip, but also I planted a seed about weekday morning parties. There is a tremendous market for that type of show if you remember to talk about it. Another booking commercial that I use. Ladies, 3 to 5 girls is all it takes to have a great show, have a fun time, and take advantage of our amazing hostess specials. Most parties, you need to have a whole big group of people to have a successful showing, and that's just simply not the case here. 3 to 5 girls equals a huge shopping spree for you. That's also what I remind everyone that says, oh, I don't know enough people to have a show. Countless guests at my shows have gone from no to, oh, okay, simply by telling them 3 to 5 girls was enough. Most memorably, one of my guests, Melissa, went from no to, oh, okay, I suppose I could get 3 to 5 girls together. When I arrived, I pulled up to the house. There was a disco ball in the window, blaring music I could hear from the curb, 23 women at the party, and well over $2,000 in sales with multiple bookings. Good thing she was having, I think I can get 3 to 5 people. So So with our incredible host plan, I know I'm going to make a great commission, and my host will earn fantastic rewards simply with the 3 to 5. So I'm totally okay with that. I'd rather meet 3 people or even 2 people than 0 people. So truly, I never cancel a show because I never also want my host to feel bad about how her attendance is going to be. I always assure her we are going to have a great time with whoever comes. I always want my host to feel great about her decision to host her showing. Some people have fun with their friends outside the home. Remember, some people have small apartments, big dogs, husbands that don't enjoy company, small children, big children, live messy, and assorted other reasons why they don't want to have people in their home. But they still like to have fun with their friends. For these people, it's important to mention the other types of locations that are so fun to host their showing. So you might say, on Thursday night last week, I met with a really fun group of girls right after work at TGI Fridays. I love those types of shows. We have appetizers, a couple of cocktails, and everyone just stops in after work. Or I'll say, this Gold Coast necklace is the ultimate work necklace. It creates a nice visual interest without being too blingy. I love featuring this one at my office parties because everyone's already in their work clothes, and you get to try on the jewelry that would look best with your work clothes while you're actually at work on your lunch. I'd love to treat you and your coworkers to something like that as well. Now, of course, a lot of people book shows because they want free and discounted jewelry. They book when we create desire for the jewelry. So how do we do that? As I mentioned before, I do put jewelry on guests as they arrive because the longer they wear it, the less they want to take it off, and the more they want to own it. So take a few minutes to explain how and why to use the wish list. And of course, the sale, that's so important because we want to see their big wish list at order time. And we want them to see their big wish list and realize that the only possible solution to this giant wish list is to host their own get-together. So how do we create desire? Here are several ways. You can spend extra time featuring the thank you pieces in the jewelry combinations that you choose for your guests. Bring the right jewelry for the right crowd. Ask your hostess during hostess coaching how she would describe the styles of her friends. This is all part of the listening to meet the needs. Learn great jewelry combinations. Learn how to mix and match so that the guests see the value of groupings of jewelry. Some of your groups will be able to purchase it all with just the sale, but most others will need to have a get-together in order to get all the jewelry they truly want. Rotate your jewelry selections regularly. This is one of several reasons why you don't bring everything you own to one show. Because if they see everything all in one shot, what reason do they have to come back? Now, it's important to not just actually bring the different jewelry, it's important to tell them that you'll be bringing different jewelry at the shows. So I'll make sure I say during the show, one of the greatest perks of my job is that I'm able to earn free jewelry, what feels like weekly, showing up at my house. So whether you book a showing as a happy hour next Thursday or whether you book a brunch 3 weeks from today, you're going to see different jewelry than what you just saw here today. I always have something new to show you. And that is also why it's so important to earning your rich rewards. We have the ability to earn $800 a month in additional jewelry. This is jewelry you can use to freshen up and rotate your kit, to use as thank you booking pieces, to use on personal appointment gifts. You don't miss out on at least some of that $800 a month. And I said this before, but please, it's important to be a student of your business at all times. And of course, you're doing a great job of that by being at this convention. But also, take the time to learn those fashion tips. Look at a glamour magazine. Get on some style blogs. Mailing lists like the Curvy Fashionista and the Corporate Fashionista are two good ones. This gives you credibility in our industry. It doesn't matter if you don't know it now. It matters if you're willing to learn it now. This inspires guests to want to learn more from you, which increases your bookings. I throw around the designer names of the comparison, the designer-inspired pieces like a boss at my shows, and I had never heard of any of those before in my life because I didn't need to. I came from a very not necessary to be fashionable company, okay? But I've learned from team members that did know those tips, and I took the time to learn them. I've become a lot more attractive to my husband since I started selling Park Lane. I think we would all agree that a common objection that we all hear is, I don't have enough time to host a show. But here's the thing, they had the time to come to a show, so really the issue is they have the wrong perception of how much time it takes to actually host a show. So they also may not be sure if the time they're going to take out of their busy life in order to put the show together is going to be worth it. Now, hopefully I've given you enough tips to overcome the one about if it's going to be worth it. They'll definitely see it will be worth it. But let's take a look at that other reason. Recently I had a guest who attended and placed orders on many, many shows throughout the entire fall. So when she placed her order at this one, it was like her 6th or 7th show. And I said, Angela, isn't it time for you to get some of these host benefits? Let's get some of your girlfriends together. You've been to so many shows and supported so many shows. And she's like, oh, I work so much. And I said, all right, well, let's do a Saturday. She's like, I actually do work on Saturdays too. I said, well, how about then maybe a Sunday brunch? No, I go to church on Sunday and it just takes forever. So we landed on no. I total up her order. Her mom sitting across was not paying attention to any of this. I tell her total, I take her payment. Her mom says, Angela, you gonna have the next party? And she said, are you gonna have the next party? You can have it at my house. She said, yes, okay. I was like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Did I not just have a 10-minute conversation giving her every option on earth? But what she didn't have time for was to vacuum her own house and to prepare the appetizers and whatever else she thought she had to do. Once her mom was going to take care of that and she could show up with her pocketbook on her shoulder, then I guess it was okay. So I booked her. So that's why it's important that we are prepared with those alternate locations. This allows us to get to the real reason for the no and find a way to get the yes. And that's really the bottom line. People only say no when we haven't given them enough reason to say yes. It's our job to create so much desire and experience so much fun that they're willing to overcome their own objection. That's actually my favorite one, that hostess that says, I don't know, whatever, I'll figure it out, it'll be fine. Well, just give me that date and I'll make it work. Because that's the ones who really want the show. Those are the really good ones. So if you incorporate these words and strategies into your shows and your texts and your calls, you'll be filled to the brim with hosts that are excited, inspired, and full of desire.